Hey everyone, my name is Amanda, and in this video we are going to be talking about night routines, sleep habits, hygiene that you can do to get better sleep, better quality, better length of sleep, and wake up feeling more rested and ready for the day. I'm sure we all know the feeling of being overtired and then trying to do something challenging, both physical or mental, and it usually doesn't work out, right? There's so many studies that have shown that sleep is directly correlated with your cognitive and physical performance, and yet a lot of us cite sleep as the thing that we have the hardest time managing or working on in our daily lives. So today we're going to talk about how to prep yourself for sleep in a way that's going to allow you to get better quality and a better length of sleep, hopefully. And then we'll talk about troubleshooting some issues like when your brain won't turn off and you've been in bed for an hour, and what to do if you do have a lot in your day and you can't get that full ritual in. So we're going to start by talking about ideal scenarios, right? What we could do from a day-to-day basis that can really improve your sleep. And a big theory behind getting better quality sleep and sleep hygiene is stimulating that parasympathetic nervous system, right? The melatonin production of the pineal gland, for those of you who are doing anatomy and physiology and endocrinology, right? It allows us to increase our circadian rhythm, get ready for sleep, and turn off that sympathetic nervous system, right? That cortisol and adrenaline that keeps us awake. So how do we do that? We leverage the five senses. So thinking through what makes you feel sleepy, right? So for some of us, it might be more touch, right? So weighted blankets, comfy clothes, right? A cool pillow. All of those count as touch, right? Doing a face routine, right? Where you do a face wash that feels really good on your skin, or even a face mask. All of that can stimulate that kind of relaxation feeling. For others, it may be more sight. So for me, I do get migraines, and light is a big part of what triggers my migraines. So I've noticed that since I have turned off all electronics before bed, I'm talking like an hour, hour and a half before bed, no TV, no computer, no phone, and dimming the lights, even to the point of putting on just candles or one soft lamp, has made a huge difference in how I physically feel before bed. So if you're somebody who's really light sensitive, or who notices you get some eye strain or some tension headaches, making sure to give yourself a break from electronics and blue light is key for quality sleep. I know for some of us that can be really challenging. A lot of us do like to scroll or watch a TV show before bed, and it feels like we're relaxing, but our brains are not, right? Our bodies might start to relax in that situation, right? We kind of chill on the couch or in bed, but by giving yourself a ton of visual stimulus, your brain is having to take all that in, right? So even if you feel relaxed, you're probably not getting sleepy, and that's our goal here. Sound. So a lot of us do respond well to sound, right? So white noise is a big thing for a lot of people, making sure you have like a fan on or even a white noise machine. Others like to listen to meditations or audiobooks, right? Auditory stimulus is actually a lot less damaging to that parasympathetic production than visuals, right? Because visuals, we're taking in so much information, trying to remember it, store it. Audio actually doesn't have that same kind of awake effect, especially if it's soothing sounds or repetitions like mantras or meditations can actually produce that sense of sleepiness. So there's a lot of great meditations out there. I know that Headspace has a lot of free apps, and they're short, which is really nice. I personally found this girl, Amber, on YouTube. She's my girl. She's my sleep meditation person. So whatever works for you in terms of auditory stimulus, you just want it to be consistent so your body can get used to the stimulus and it's not something new or novel to take in, right? For instance, if you have a sleep playlist, right, relaxing music, having the exact same playlist on every single night will start to stimulate that conditioning of like, hey, it's sleep time. All right, so we've done sight and sound and touch, so now let's get into smells. Smells are like that deep lizard brain triggers, right? So smells can be really, really important for triggering sleep. People have done everything from candles to incense to essential oils, especially in a diffuser or rubbed onto skin if it's diluted, right? You can do a tea, right? So tea can actually do a bunch of senses at once. We'll get into taste in a second, but that touch of a warm cup and the smell and the taste can be a real nice trigger. I personally tend to use a reishi tea. It's a mushroom tea that stimulates sleep, along with a chamomile tea bag and a little bit of honey, and that's what works for me. The reishi tea doesn't smell that great, but the chamomile does, so I kind of satisfy both of those senses at once. Again, candles or anything that gives you that sense of calm, right? That sense of like, it's sleep time. For washing your face and doing kind of your night routine basic habits, your toothpaste or your face wash, that scent can actually either be stimulating or be relaxing, right? So peppermint actually is a stimulant. So if you're really sensitive to smells, you might actually feel more awake after brushing your teeth. That's great in the morning, not so great at night. So there's actually a lot of toothpastes out there now that are either unscented or scented with something like cinnamon that's a little bit more relaxation based instead of stimulating, right? So again, this is for people who are really sensitive to smells, right? Which may be you. So trying out different smells, and then again, same thing as with all the other senses, once you settle on something that works for you, doing it every night so that it becomes a ritual, and we're conditioning your hormones, your endocrinology, to then release what you need to get ready for sleep, because it's like, yes, we're smelling that thing, we're tasting that thing, that means sleep, right? We're basically doing puppy training, but on your brain. All right, and then our last one is taste, right? So taste, same thing. So teas, honey, again, the taste of your toothpaste can really make a difference. I used to, back in the day, I used to really like a little small square of like bitter chocolate. That, for whatever reason, was my night routine, not so much anymore. So if taste is a big one for you, teas or even lemon and warm water can be really helpful as well, just to kind of clear out the nose, the nasal cavity, and the mouth and throat before you go to bed. So there's a lot of herbal mixtures and things like that, so you can kind of explore that health foods aisle if taste is up your alley. Okay, some general rules though, all right? Caffeine. Caffeine, number one, along with nicotine, for preventing sleep. So if you're a caffeine drinker, like me, I want you to try making a hard and fast rule to not drink caffeine 8 hours before bed. So if you're trying to get to bed at 11, right, that means 3 p.m. is your cutoff for caffeine. It will be rough the first few days, but I promise you the trade-off of better sleep will be better than that caffeine high that you're getting in the afternoon. So again, maybe make this transition when you don't have a test coming up the following week, right? Because those first few days will be a little rough, but it makes such a difference. You can have as many cups as you want, right, before 2 or 3 p.m., but trying to cut out caffeine in the afternoon. Again, we've talked about the blue lights, right? But we're also, even within that, stimulating your brain with like study materials, right? Or like hard work an hour before bed is not going to make sleep easy. And even if you do fall asleep quickly, it will probably be restless sleep. So how do we deal with that? One of the ways to deal with that is journaling, mind dumping. If you have so much on your mind that you're laying in bed and you're like, I have to be thinking about this or memorizing this, having a journal or something right by your bed to just like jot those thoughts down. And then the rule is you kind of have a mantra or statement that says, okay, when I close this book, I'm done thinking, right? I'm done for the day. So as you kind of develop these rituals and routines, making sure that you also have kind of like a final moment with this. So that could really help if you have that voice that just like nonstop, oh, I have to remember to go get groceries tomorrow, or I have to remember to call so-and-so back, or I have to remember to study amino acids, right? Just put it all in the journal. It'll be there for you in the morning when you're more able to tackle those things. All right. Another thing for kind of general sleep routine is to make sure that you are consistently trying to go to bed at the same time every day. It's really, really important to get your body used to those rhythms, right? If you've ever trained an animal, right, rituals are really important so they know what to expect. Same thing with your brain, with that hindbrain, midbrain that's trying to get you to sleep, right? If you're trying to trigger sleep at 9 p.m. one night and midnight the next, right, your body doesn't know when to produce those hormones, right? It's going to be very confusing. So trying to be really consistent, trying to have that set habit every day, all right? Finally, all of these things that I described, right? Weighted blankets, all the way to teas, all the way to face masks, all the way to playlists, right? You don't have to do all of them, right? 2 or 3 is plenty. And for me, I only do what I call my full routine, right? Where I do try to hit all 5 senses. I only do that maybe like once, twice a week, right? When I'm really like, okay, I need to relax. I've had a stressful day. I want to indulge myself, right? This should feel indulgent. But most of the time, right, all I do is I'm big on the electronics, right? No electronics. I love my tea, so I do drink that. And I make sure to turn the lights down an hour before bed. That's my bare minimum. So what I call my kind of like basic routine. And then I have my full routine for those days where I really need to take the time to relax. Regardless of what you do, you want to just try it out, right? Experiment. Try not to change too many variables at one time, right? If you've done research, you know not to try to change too many variables. Otherwise, we won't know which one is valuable for you. So give these guys a shot. I'm going to go ahead and link some other readings in the bottom of this video. So if you're interested in why this is important and where the research came on a lot of this stuff, you can find a couple links below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.